these energies, initiation, experiences, expertise, all I am showering through this Paramashivoham initiation. This whole month, from this Amavasya to next Amavasya, will literally make Paramashiva grow in your inner space, in your being. Last 3 years continuously being in the space and place of Kailasa has filled me with everything best. So what I am going to do now is not repetition, it is revival with trillion times intensity. "25 years ago, the completion I spoke, I may be using the same word, but the impact of the initiation on you will be trillion times greater now, because the whole initiation software has evolved to the next level. First I bow down to Ganapati and start the initiation. Paramashivoham initiation from today till next Amavasya, like Mahashivaratri. Bow down to Ganapati. Om Mahaganapataye Namaha Om.
Gajamuga gajamuga gajanana, gajamuga gajamuga gajanana, gajamuga gajamuga gajanana, gajamuga gajamuga gajanana, Gaur गौरी नंदन नित्यानंद गौरी नंदन नित्यानंद गौरी नंदन नित्यानंद गौरी नंदन नित्यानंद गजमुग गजमुग गजानन गजमुग गजमुग गजानन गिरिजानंदन नित्यानंद गिरिजानंदन नित्यानंद गिरिजानंदन नित्यानंद गिरिजानंदन नित्यानंद गिरीशनंदन नित्यानंद गिरीशनंदन नित्यानंद गिरीशनंदन नित्यानंद गिरीशनंदन नित्यानंद गजमुग गजमुग गजानन गजमुग गजमुग गजानन गजमुग गजमुग गजानन गजमुग गजमुग गजानन गौरी नंदन नित्यानंद गौरी नंदन नित्यानंद गौरी नंदन नित्यानंद गौरी नंदन नित्यानंद गजमुग गजमुग गजानन गजमुग गजमुग गजानन गिरिजानंदन नित्यानंद गिरिजानंदन नित्यानंद गिरिजानंदन नित्यानंद गिरीशनंदन नित्यानंद गिरीशनंदन नित्यानंद गिरीशनंदन नित्यानंद गिरीशनंदन नित्यानंद गजमुग गजमुग गजानन गजमुग गजमुग गजानन लंबोदरा नित्य गजानन लंबोदरा नित्य गजानन लंबोदरा नित्य गजानन लंबोदरा नित्य गजानन पार्वती नंदन परमदयाकर पार्वती नंदन परमदयाकर पार्वती नंदन परमदयाकर पार्वती नंदन परमदयाकर लंबोदरा नित्य गजानन लंबोदरा नित्य गजानन बंद विमोचन भव भय भंजन 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 प्रणव स्वरूपा हे नित्य नूतन 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 पाहि प्रभो मां पाहि गजानन 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 लंबोदरा नित्य गजानन लंबोदरा नित्य गजानन पार्वती नंदन परमदयाकर पार्वती नंदन परमदयाकर बंद विमोचन भव भय भंजन बंद विमोचन भव भय भंजन बंद विमोचन भव भय भंजन बंद विमोचन भव भय गजानना लंबोदरा नित्य गजानना लंबोदरा नित्य गजानना लंबोदरा नित्य गजानना पार्वती नंदन परमदयाकर पार्वती नंदन परमदयाकर पार्वती नंदन परमदयाकर पार्वती नंदन परमदयाकर लंबोदरा नित्य गजानना लंबोदरा नित्य गजानना बंध विमोचन भव भय वांचन 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 प्रणव स्वरूपा हे नित्यानंदन प्रणव स्वरूपा हे नित्यानंदन पाहि प्रभो मां पाहि गजानन 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 गणेश चरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं गणेश चरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं नित्यस्मरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं नित्यस्मरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं गणेश चरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं गणेश चरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं नित्यस्मरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं नित्यस्मरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं सद्गुरु शरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं सद्गुरु शरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं भवभयहरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं भवभयहरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं गणेश चरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं गणेश चरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं नित्यस्मरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं नित्यस्मरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं सद्गुरु शरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं सद्गुरु शरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं भवभयहरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं भवभयहरणं परम पावनं नित्यानन्दं गजाननं சரணம் பரமபாவனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் நித்யஸ்மரணம் பரமபாவனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் நித்யஸ்மரணம் பரமபாவனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் சத்குரு சரணம் பரமபாவனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் சத்குரு சரணம் பரமபாவனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் பவபயஹரணம் பரமபாவனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் பவபயஹரணம் பரமபாவனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் கணேசச்சரணம் பரமபாவனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் கணேசச்சரணம் பரமபாவனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் நித்யஸ்மரணம் பரமபாவனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் நித்யஸ்மரணம் பரமபாவனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம் நித்யானந்தம் கஜானனம்
நித்யானந்தா ஹே நித்யானந்தா நித்யானந்தா ஹே நித்யானந்தா நித்யானந்தா ஹே நித்யானந்தா நித்யானந்தா மூஷிகவாகன நித்யபுரீஸ்வர நித்யானந்தா நித்யபுரீஸ்வர நித்யானந்தா நித்யபுரீஸ்வர நித்யானந்தா நித்யபுரீஸ்வர நித்யானந்தா நித்யானந்தா ஹே நித்யானந்தா நித்யானந்தா ஹே நித்யானந்தா நித்யானந்தா ஹே நித்யானந்தா நித்யானந்தா ஹே நித்யானந்தா கௌரி கனயாக ஜானனா கௌரி கனயாக ஜானனா ஹே நித்யானந்தன ஜெய ஜகவந்தன ஹே நித்யானந்தன ஜெய ஜகவந்தன வித்யாபூதி பிரதாயக வித்யாபூதி பிரதாயக வித்யாபூதி பிரதாயக வித்யாபூதி பிரதாயக பரமநிரஞ்சன மூஷிகவாகன பரமநிரஞ்சன மூஷிகவாகன நித்யபுரீஸ்வர நித்யானந்தா நித்யபுரீஸ்வர நித்யானந்தா நித்யபுரீஸ்வர நித்யானந்தா நித்யபுரீஸ்வர நித்யானந்தா நித்யானந்தா ஹே 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 நித்யானந்தா கௌரி கனயாக ஜானனா கௌரி கனயாக ஜானனா நித்யானந்தா ஹே நித்யானந்தா நித்யானந்தா ஹே நித்யானந்தா கௌரி கனயாக ஜானனா கௌரி கனயாக ஜானனா நித்யபுரீஸ்வர நித்யானந்தா நித்யபுரீஸ்வர நித்யானந்தா
चन्द्रकलाधर नित्यानन्दा शशिवदनां शिव नित्यानन्दा चन्द्रकलाधर नित्यानन्दा शशिवदनां शिव नित्यानन्दा गौरी शङ्कर नित्यानन्दा कनक सवेसा नित्यानन्दा गौरी शङ्कर नित्यानन्दा कनक सवेसा नित्यानन्दा करुणामूर्ते नित्यानन्दा अरुणाचले सा नित्यानन्दा करुणामूर्ते नित्यानन्दा अरुणाचले सा नित्यानन्दा केशव नरहरि नित्यानन्दा श्याम गोपाला नित्यानन्दा केशव नरहरि नित्यानन्दा श्याम गोपाला नित्यानन्दा मुरली गोपाल नित्यानन्दा मुरली मनोहर नित्यानन्दा मुरली गोपाल नित्यानन्दा मुरली मनोहर नित्यानन्दा गोकुलनन्दन नित्यानन्दा नटवर श्यामा नित्यानन्दा गोकुलनन्दन नित्यानन्दा नटवर श्यामा ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ಹರಿ 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 ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದ.
ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾಗಣಪತಿರವತು ಮಾಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾಗಣಪತಿರವತು ಮಾಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾಗಣಪತಿರವತು ಮಾಂ ವಿದ್ಯಾ ಮಾತಂಗಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾಗಣಪತಿರವತು ಮಾಂ ವಿದ್ಯಾ ಮಾತಂಗಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾಗಣಪತಿರವತು ಮಾಂ ನಿತ್ಯಾ ಮಾತಂಗಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾಗಣಪತಿರವತು ಮಾಂ ನಿತ್ಯಾ ಮಾತಂಗಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾಗಣಪತಿರವತು ಕಾಮಜನಕ ವಿಧೇಂದ್ರ ಸನ್ನುತ ಕಮಲ ನಯನ ನಿವಾಸೋ ಕಾಮಜನಕ ವಿಧೇಂದ್ರ ಸನ್ನುತ ಕಮಲ ನಯನ ನಿವಾಸೋ ಕಾಮಜನಕ ವಿಧೇಂದ್ರ ಸನ್ನುತ ಕಮಲ ಲಯತನ ನಿವಾಸೋ ಕೋಮಳಕರ ಪಲ್ಲವನಹರ ಗುರುಭಾಗ್ರಜ ಶಿವಾತ್ಮಜ ಕೋಮಳಕರ ಪಲ್ಲವ ಬನಹರ ಗುರುಭಾಗ್ರಜ ಶಿವಾತ್ಮಜ ಪಮ ಗಮ ರಿ ಗಮ ಗಣಕುಜಂ ನಿಸರಿ ಗಿಡದ ಪನಿ ಸಜುದರಿ ಸರಿ ಮದ ಗಣಂ ಮಗಮದನ ಪಮ ಮದಿ ನಿದ ಮಪನಿ ಪಗಿದರಿ ಪನಿ ಸರಿ ಕುಕುಂದರಿ ಮಪನಿ ಸಗಿಡಜಂ ನಿಗಮ ಸರಿ ನಿದರಿ ನಿಸರಿ ಸ ಕುಕುಂದರಿ ಪನಿ ಪಸನಿ ನಿದರಿ ನಿಗಮ ನಿಸಜಂ ಕರಿ ದದಾನಿ ಗಮ ಕದಿ ಗಿಡದು ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾಗಣಪತಿರವತು ಮಾಂ ನಿತ್ಯಾ ಮಾತಂಗಂ ಶ್ರೀ ಮಹಾಗಣಪತಿರವತು ಸ್ವರ್ಣಕರ್ಷಣ ವೇಗರಾಜೋ ಪಾದಾಂಬುಜೋ ಗೌರವರ್ಣವಸನದರೋ ಹಾಲಚಂದ್ರೋ ಸುವರ್ಣ ಕರ್ಷಣ ವೇಗರಾಜೋ ಪಾದಾಂಬುಜೋ ಗೌರವರ್ಣವಸನದರೋ ಹಾಲಚಂದ್ರೋ ನರಾದಿ ವಿನುತಲಂಬೋದರೋ ನರಾದಿ ವಿನುತಲಂಬೋದರೋ ಕುವಲಯ ಸ್ವವಿಷಾಣ ಆಶಾಂಗುಷ ಮೋದಕ ಕುವಲಯ ಸ್ವವಿಷಾಣ ಆಶಾಂಗುಷ ಮೋದಕ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದೋ ಭವಜಲದಿನಾ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದೋ ಭವಜಲದಿನಾ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದೋ ಭವಜಲದಿನಾ ಮೂಲ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಸ್ವಭಾವ ಸುಖತರೋ ನಿತ್ಯಾನಂದೋ ಭವಜಲದಿನಾ ಮೂಲ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿ ಸ್ವಭಾವ ಸುಖತರೋ ಕವಿಸಹಸ್ರ ಸಂಪದೇಗೋ ಕವಿಜನನುತ ಮೂಷಿಕವಾಗೋ ಕವಿಸಹಸ್ರ ಸಂಪದೇಗೋ ಕವಿಜನನುತ ಮೂಷಿಕವಾಗೋ ಅವನದ ದೇವತಾ ಸಮೂಹೋ ಅವಿನಾಶ ಕೈವಲ್ಯಕೇಗೋ ಅವನದ ದೇವತಾ ಸಮೂಹೋ ಅವಿನಾಶ ಕೈವಲ್ಯಕೇಗೋ ಮಮ ಗಮ ರಿ ಗಮ ಗಣಕುಜಂ ನಿಜ ದಿ ಗಣನ ಪನಿ ಸಜುದ ನಿ ಸರಿ
I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching cause, living Shuddhatvaita Saivam Paramattvaitam. The state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa, Maha Kailasa of Paramashiva, Paramashivoham, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, the eternal bliss Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
Om, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness unto light, lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. The path of Advaita Vedanta, which is what I'm calling Jnana Yoga and for this purpose of this seminar or this workshop. No, retreat. What am I saying? Seminar, workshop. I'm getting used to the academic language. It's a retreat. Advaita Vedanta, it drops some bombshells. That we require these 4 yogas to become free of bondage. Advaita Vedanta says, no. You are already free of bondage. You don't have to become one with God. You are one with God. What is the purpose of these 4 yogas? What is the purpose of spiritual life then? The purpose is to correct the error that you are not free. That you are not already Brahman, that Brahman alone is real, the world is an appearance, and you are none other than Brahman. Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya, Jiva Brahmeva Napara. This is already a fact right now, as much true for you or I as it is true for Sri Ramakrishna or Ma Sharada or Swami Vivekananda, all the enlightened people. Absolutely true right now. The only difference is we don't think it's true. We feel that no. It may be true ultimately, but right now I am this person. And I have to do a lot of things. 4 yogas I have to do for 40 years, and then only I'll be somewhere near that. No. You are already that. Right now you always were. Our whole problem is this error. Thinking, feeling that it is not so. This error has to be corrected. If you have this error, if we honestly feel to ourselves that, no, I cannot honestly say with conviction that I am Brahman, I am the Absolute, I am free of suffering. In that case, that's an error and that has to be corrected. And that correction of error, how will it happen? Where does error come from? Any kind of error comes from ignorance. The snake is seen as the rope is seen as a snake. Why? It's an error. Why? Because the rope is not known as a rope. The truth is not known. Because of our ignorance of the truth that it's a rope, we tend to see it as a snake. And the solution is always go to the root of the problem. The root of error is ignorance, and ignorance is removed by knowledge. All we require is the knowledge of our real nature. And that is communicated through Vedanta. Our real nature is already there. So I like that Mullah Nasruddin story, where, Mullah Nasruddin, there are many nice stories. He is a trader. He used to go to a neighboring country trading with his caravan. And he would cross the border guards. The chief of the border guards always felt that Mullah Nasruddin was a smuggler. So he kept on checking him, double check. Please step out of the line, special checking. TSA? So, double check. This fellow looks suspicious. So I get some special checking sometimes because of this dress, So, and it's interesting. I think they can't be, they can't fault them because I think they have a quota, how much effort they have made. So they have to select somehow, and he looks strange enough. So once I came in from, I think it was from England to New York. When I entered, they said, please come to this room, special room. I said, all right, special checking. And the room, everybody was either wearing a burqa or they looked like some, gangster. They had tattoos and things like that. I heard, why would you dress like that to come here? You're definitely going to get checked. And the most interesting thing was the person sitting next to me, also for special checking, he was an Arab with a long white dress up to the ankles. And just like the Arabs will, in fact, almost like a cartoon you will see in caricature of a terrorist if you see in Hollywood movies, like that. He has a backpack, which is not letting go. And he has a long beard and a covering, and he's muttering in Arabic. Now, obviously, you're going to get pulled aside for special checking if you behave like that. And so in the middle of that, I was there. So this Mullah Nasruddin was always pulled aside for special checking, but they could never find out what he was smuggling. Every time. Many years later, the chief of the border guard, he had retired. One day he met Mullah Nasruddin, for a cup of tea. In India we call dhaba, like a roadside tea stall. He met him there and he said, "Hey, do you remember me? In those days, I was this guard, I was there. And you used to come with all your goods loaded on the donkey, and then we would check. And know you are smuggling. But everything was legal. I mean, I could not find anything which you are smuggling. So now I have retired, you don't have any worry. Tell me, what is it you are smuggling?" Mullah Nasruddin said, "Very simple, the donkey." So it's right under our nose. And we don't see it because of our preconception. Sri Ramakrishna told the story of the diamond, the washerman who found the diamond. And the washerman in India, he takes the clothes and he beats it he scrubs it and all on the bank of the river and cleans it and gives it back to you. So the diamond, he didn't know what a diamond was. He thought it's a nice, strange stone, but nice to scrub the clothes. So he would scrub the clothes with the diamond. And after some time, he got a doubt that something is strange about this stone, this rock. Let me show it to my friend, the vegetable seller, who is more knowledgeable than me. Then he goes and tells the vegetable seller, "You look at this, is this anything valuable?" And the vegetable seller says, "I think so. I will give you brinjals, a bag full of brinjals for it." Though that is quite a lot for the poor washerman, he says, "Let me hold on to it. Let me ask somebody else who knows." And finally, he goes to more and more educated people. Finally, he goes to a diamond merchant who says, "Wow, this is the best diamond that I've ever seen, the largest and the best diamond. I will give you 10 million rupees for it." And so all the wants of the washerman, poor washerman, all the wants, all the poverty was removed. Though he had it all the time, he didn't know its value, that it could solve all his problems. He had it. Not only he had it, he was using it. But for scrubbing clothes. We have it. That which can remove every want of ours. Right now, right here it can do that. But we don't recognize it for what it is. We are using it. What are we using it for? We are using it right now. Here, you are using it. You're using it for seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. You're using it for thinking, loving, hating, desiring, inquiring. You're using it for being happy. You're using it for being unhappy. That thing. That inner awareness, which we all have. We all feel it. But we don't know what it is. Vedanta just introduces us to it. What does Vedanta do? If everything is perfect, then why do we need Vedanta? Vedanta says, correct. If you feel everything is perfect in your life, then you don't need me. All our problems are due to ignorance. And the solution is knowledge. That sounds like we have heard it so many times, we don't see what a tremendous assertion that is. If our problems are due to ignorance, there are really no problems. If solution is due to knowledge, that solution is already there with you. In Hindi they say, what does Vedanta do? Praptasya prapti, nivrittasya nivritti. Vedanta gives you what you already have, and it removes what was never there. A samsara which does not exist is removed. That absolute nature which you are, that Brahman, Satchidananda, that perfection which religion, spirituality promises, you already are that. Vedanta gives it to you. Gives it to you means, within quotes, introduces. Look, here it is. And when we become enlightened, we say, oh, I always was that. My God, I never thought of it. See, the 4 yogas, in the context of the 4 yogas, Bhakti says, your lack of devotion is the problem. Yoga says, your restlessness of mind is the problem, hence meditate. Bhakti says, lack of devotion is the problem, hence have faith. But Vedanta says, no, it's not a question of faith. It's not even a question of meditation or not meditating. It's a question of knowing or not knowing, realizing or not realizing. So, in Vedanta, the spiritual journey is from ignorance to knowledge. I often say it's not a journey in space. You don't have to go somewhere, heaven, a holy place, Vrindavan, Vaikuntha, Kailasa, heaven. No. You don't have to wait that after death, after the next. People ask, Sri Ramakrishna was an avatar, that's not so interesting, but he said he will come again. Didn't he say that? Very much interested. What will happen? This time he came, what has happened to you? Nothing. Next time he comes, I can predict. Nothing will happen to you. Not after the coming of the Messiah or the next incarnation, no. You say, yes, that's all right, but after Samadhi, right? No. So all that Samadhi will reveal to you is what you already have. All right, after enlightenment, Brahmajnana, enlightenment, that's what Advaita promises. After enlightenment, it's not that you will become Brahman. You will see that you always were Brahman. So this is the bombshell which it drops. Another thing bombshell it drops is that the method is knowledge. The method in bhakti is emotion. It uses the heart, our passions, our desires, and channels them Godward. The method in yoga is the mind. It concentrates the mind, focuses. The method in jnana is understanding, the faculty of understanding. I'm not saying knowledge. People keep saying knowledge, but people are misunderstand. The moment you say knowledge, it means maybe reading a lot of books, knowing many things. Not in that sense. Jnana yoga, I sometimes like to use the term insight yoga. It's just one thing that you have to know, or more than know, it's one insight that we need, that's all. Just one breakthrough, one insight, and then it's done. So what is that? And this is also the one yoga, the third bombshell is, what was the first one? The first one is you are already that. What was the second one? You just need insight, knowledge. Knowledge is the way. It's a very big thing to say because we have been programmed to do things. Therefore in bhakti it's not difficult to understand. We have to believe and worship. Fine. Yoga, not difficult to understand. We have to do this kind of meditation. Fine. Karma yoga, I understand. I have to do unselfish work. Jnana yoga, after even when we say yes, the method is knowledge, I understand. But after listening to a class for a few months, few years, they'll come and say, now what do we do? See, word, do. I want something to do. I remember I used to attend the classes of a sadhu in the Himalayas in Haridwar. Very great teacher of Vedanta. In his lifetime itself, he was regarded as a Jivan Mukta, enlightened person. A young monk comes to him. In front of me, I saw a young man who has become a monk, comes to him and asks, so I've taken sannyasa now, I've become a monk, a Vedantic monk. Now what do I do? The Swami chuckled. He said in Hindi, wahi to kya karoge ab? What will you do now? What will you do now? Some of you know Swami Atma Priyanandaji. He is the Vice Chancellor of our university. When he became a monk, he told us the story. So when you become a sannyasi, you're given by the Guru the Mahavakya. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Now before that we have been given other practices. For example, when you get mantra diksha, you are given a mantra to repeat. When we get brahmacharya diksha, there is another Gayatri mantra to repeat, and there other practices are there. So once you become a sannyasi, certain things are given to you, including this Mahavakya. Mahavakya is the identity statement.